Perfect. We are live from New York.
Literally.
Yeah. How are
Awesome.
you?
Good. It's been a long day. I had a lot going on with driving around, getting stuff done, but I've been home for a bit and got some relaxing. You didn't get lost?
Um, Surprisingly, not this time. Surprisingly,
Good.
not this time, but every other time, yes, I've gotten lost. Homer, is this your first time going live?
I have to admit, no.
Who did you
I
go live
jumped.
with?
I just jumped in with JD and talked to him for a little bit. I
Uh,
wasn't on screen though. I wasn't on screen. I was down in the corner and it was my little wizard. So it wasn't like this is my
okay,
first appearance
this is
live.
Homer's first real debut, his full debut.
Yeah. And I made sure I didn't answer any questions or anything.
Okay.
I just wanted to support
Well,
him.
that's nice. Welcome to your first official live on TikTok. We
Thank
have some
you.
questions for you. Um, First of all, I wanted to ask for this event, were you eager like a beaver?
For for the live, yes, absolutely. Eager but also nervous. I think I've only been recorded like other than myself, I've only been on like TV once ever, or anything where I was like not able to just delete it. So yeah, I was
I had to
eager.
ask
I'm
it like
excited.
that too. Eager like a
Oh.
beaver, like your Jack Handy.
Oh,
Yeah, I stole that from one of your TikTok videos. Do you remember?
I forgot. I don't
You
remember
don't
the beaver
remember?
one offhand. Which one was the beaver one?
You don't? That was the
Oh
best
yeah,
one. You
yeah,
were saying,
yeah. Well, it wasn't my favorite, but yeah, the one where then they get skinned. Yeah, I remember that now. The stages of life.
the stages of life. When you're a young man, you start off eager like a beaver. And then, I don't know, that just made me laugh.
And I don't think I'm a
Anyway,
young man anymore. I feel young on the inside, but my body says otherwise. So, yeah.
do you believe in aliens?
Yeah, absolutely. I think
You
that
do.
the universe is incredibly vast and can allow for almost anything through from quantum mechanics and yeah, I've studied cosmology and I think that the universe is so vast that the Fermi paradox and the idea of why don't we see them is more important than whether or not they exist. Is when and where are they is my idea.
Yeah. When and where? That's a good
Life,
question.
life found a way here despite innumerable like barriers. Why wouldn't it happen in the universe?
I agree. Do you think that the U.S. government would fake an alien attack to push whatever agenda they wanted?
Oh yeah,
Me too.
absolutely. Why would they
Me
not?
too.
I mean, like they're I don't think that the government always has the society's best interest in mind now that it's like capitalistic oligarchy. It's not really like they have everyone's best interest. And yeah, if they have an ends to a means and it's faking an alien invasion, I don't see why they wouldn't. Are we all going to buy into it? Yeah, probably.
That's why I like to try to spread this theory just in case it happens, so people like have this thought in the back of their mind, like this could just be our government.
It was Thea.
Can you still hear me? Okay. Can you hear me?
I
Okay.
can, yeah. It was a little laggy, but yeah, I could hear you.
Okay. Okay.
You got to do
So
the little. You need a
do
little
it
tiny
like
mic.
this. Yeah. All right. So when Ben and I got interviewed, you were nerding out with Ben when he was talking about comic books. Now, I don't understand comic books, but pretend that I'm Ben after I said all of those statements. So what would you like to say in response? Nerd out with pretend Ben about
Oh
comic
my
books.
gosh. I think I'd probably nerd out over a couple specific artists, like the Todd McFarlane's, the creator of Spawn with the flowing capes and the early editions from like Image Comics. But super also stoked that he's a fan of the fantasy artists like Boris Vallejo, Frank Frashetta, and Julie Bell, who are near and dear to me in their just fantasy worlds and creatures and basically like awesomeness. And they're like hyper realistic fantasy painters with bright colors and stuff. And they actually used a ton of bodybuilders as their models. So something that you might look and go, oh, wow, I can see how they, because a lot of the tone and whatnot. And I've got a question for you about Project Bluebeam. Have you looked it up?
Project Bluebeam is the government put that out, right? Or I don't know. It's like their alien or UFO. I don't know. Tell me about it if you know. I don't know much details in terms of that project.
It was that was the comments asking you. I think it is. I think it's it's one of the highly classified things. Anyway, I'll try to cover this up and ignore Tickle Rick now.
Oh.
I didn't think I'd be able to look at the comments and talk. So I'm really bad at two things at once. I tend to focus in on one thing.
Yeah, me too. Sometimes it just gets me too distracted. So, did you ask me a question a second ago? I feel like you did, and then I got lost.
Project Bluebeam. Oh, we were talking about comic books and dorking out about Ben and comics and being a product of the. I think he's probably also from the early '80s. I'm from 1980. I think he might be the same year even.
Yeah, you and Ben are the same age. Fun fact. You and Ben are the same age. I'm the baby.
I'm the young one in my family.
Okay. You are. See, there's something we have in common. We're babies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are you a cat person or a dog person?
Cat.
Do you have cats?
Always cat. Yeah, we have 3 cats, and I'm a 2-cat person. The other one can fuck off.
Wait, what?
I'm a 2-cat
cats?
person. I'm a picky cat person. If it's gonna like crawl all over me and touch me a bunch, I'm like no. But if it's like really soft and warm, maybe. I'm like hypersensitive to stuff, I think, and I'm dealing with that. So like being jumped on by a dog or approached isn't fun for me. So I'm definitely a cat person because she can just sit right there this entire time, and I'm fine with that. But a dog would be like showing me too much love all the time.
How does your cat react when you leave? Like if you would have come to NFT NYC and left it alone, how would it treat you how would it react?
Oh, I have no idea. It would probably still scratch on our bedroom door at 2 a.m. to be extra fed and lie to us about not getting enough food, even when we're not here.
Would the cat be mad at you and act passively aggressively?
No, cats don't give a shit.
No.
That's the other thing. Like,
yeah.
They're just like, yeah, whatever. Like they own us. We feed them, we bathe, we house them. They don't really need much from us other than like to serve them.
That's exactly what NFT Caitlin said. I was like, "How's your cat feeling right now?" And she's like, "My cat don't give a shit."
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I have one cat that would give extra love. One cat would definitely give a lot of extra love when we got back, though, just because she missed rubbing up on things.
Yeah. Well, that's sweet. At least one of your kitties loves you. All right. Homer, what's the wildest thing you've ever done? Wild and crazy. Young Homer.
I think I cleared a 15-foot gap at a full sprint off a roof onto the top of a tree. That was probably the craziest, like, youth thing, like 5-yard jump from the top of a roof onto a tree.
So you just jumped, like not on a bicycle, or just like with your legs?
No, I ran and leaped off a roof and caught onto the top of a tree. That was pretty stupid, and I ended up almost impaling my own ass because a branch went up my back. Because it was pretty pruned. It was like one of those. It was like an oversized rhododendron type tree. So it was like it was on college campus. So there was like it's like well pruned and stuff right in the middle of the art quad.
how did you get that idea to do that jump?
I thought about it a lot of times when I'd been on that route previously, and I just decided this was the time. I probably had
Oh,
enough intoxication to the point of being like, yeah, this is if I don't. I thought if I don't do it now, I'm probably never gonna do it, and I did it. And my friends looked at me like, "Holy shit, you're crazy!" And you made it. That was amazing.
I was about to ask if there were friends involved and if there was peer
Oh,
pressure involved.
oh no, no, I don't think they were pressuring me. I think they probably would have told me not to. My friends looked out for me, but I was playing nighttime disc golf through the university campus in the middle of the night,
Oh,
um, and it was a lot of fun. And so we were playing with like the floater disc, so you don't break any windows, and um, yeah. So it was nighttime shenanigans at the college. Um,
well, good thing you didn't hurt yourself.
oh, I did. I wasn't permanent.
Did you have to go to the hospital? Did you have
No,
to go to the
I just had
hospital?
like I had a major scratch up my back. That was about it. A foot,
All
a foot,
right, someone.
about a foot off from hurting myself real
Oh my
bad.
god. Well, we're glad you didn't, because now you're here in the
Yeah.
NFT community, killing it with us. Okay, someone asked, Machu asked, I think, do you have an earring? Are your ears pierced?
Yeah, I've got well, I got this one when I was like 8. It's probably hard to see. Oh, I'll get close. It's just a little spike
Oh,
and a ball on the back. And then I got this one with my stepson when he got his ear pierced when he was 8. And when you go to the salon thing or the mall or whatever, it's like 2 piercings for $10. And I just got the other one then. Because when I was like young, there was the whole stigma: guys can only have one earring and it's on the left. And I didn't really understand why at the time, but I followed suit and whatnot. So yeah. I used to wear my tongue ring barbell through it though. That was fun. I had my tongue pierced for a while, um, and
oh.
it was like a really long barbell. That was fun.
I didn't get my ears pierced till I was 18 because, of course, my mom, thought everything was the devil. But I currently don't put earrings in. I haven't for years, and I think because one, I was always on the phone when I was working as a pharmacy manager with my CVS, like doing three things at once, typing on the phone, stuff like that. And earrings would always get in the way. Do you find that your earrings get in the way? But you probably don't have to be on the phone like I did.
I'm really bad at phones. Just like I didn't even have a cell phone till I was 28 and had to for credentialing, and now I'm on my phone like most of the day, just with social media and art, and then on my iPad. But it did catch once not very long ago. I was like in the shower and I was like scrubbing, and I had lost some weight, and my wedding ring hooked it and ripped it, and it pulled my earring down. So that was the only real time. Um, so I'll blame my wife for that one. Who's down in the comments making fun of me, I think, right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Homer the Rebel, who said, Do you have a tribal tattoo?
Oh,
Someone's asking.
no, I don't.
NFT.
I was just
Oh.
gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna show my butt. No, I don't have any tattoos, which is amazing because I've always loved tattoo art and the style, and I love black and white art. Um, but no, I never followed through and got any tattoos because they're like, I have no idea what I would actually put where, and I feel like I'm a completionist, and I would have to have like super symmetry and just probably be like full coverage. And I don't know, I haven't found anything I really would want forever.
All right, so 2 earrings, no tattoos. Let's see what else people want to know. Dr. Drippy was hoping for a tramp stamp. Yeah,
Oh,
he wanted to see her tramp stamp.
I was thinking about getting a donut down there.
A drippy one. All right, scars. Machi wants to know what kind of scars do you have?
Oh, scars.
Do you want to talk about the emotional ones or the physical ones?
Oh, let's go physical. I split my eyebrow when I was 3, my face, butterfly stitches. You can maybe see
Oh,
it
I see
there.
that. Yeah, I see your scar.
Um, yeah, and then um, I don't know if you can see that. I road rashed and got some stitches where I put my tooth into my lip pretty bad when I was young. Um,
Ouch.
yeah, I've got the some here. I had my ACL reconstructed. Um, I had completely crucially tore my ACL when I was helping to coach ultimate frisbee at Humboldt State, and I went like 7 years re-injuring it repeatedly until I finally went and got it repaired. So that's a good one. I have lots of like little scars and stuff, but I haven't sustained any like major like wounds. I've got had my nose broke twice though.
Ouch. And how did that
Yeah.
happen? Did someone
The
punch you?
first one, no, the first one I was winning a snowball fight, and then I lost.
That must have been a
It was
serious
it was
snowball fight.
yeah, it was like it was ice. It was like I came around the corner and got hit with a sheet of ice, and then my third week, the second time, my third week of instructing the beginning ultimate class for the university here, because I was a frisbee instructor before I went and got my credentials. I was a certificated. I got like an equivalency so that I could instruct sports and PE classes. Um,
Oh no, you're frozen on my
ultimate
side.
with my students on the field. I was running toward the end zone. Oh, can you hear me though?
Oh, it was messing up a bit. I
Resume
don't know
live.
if it's.
Okay, it's saying resume live.
All right. Are you good?
Hmm.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you? Oh, now you're delayed or something. Oh no, we're
No, I
having.
wasn't actually talking. Sorry. That was
Oh.
that was me being goofy.
You're like a ventriloquist or
Um,
something. The opposite
yeah,
of
I
that.
try to get my daughter with that one. Whenever the kids have headphones, I pretend to talk, so I think it's funny. But
That's
the
a good
second
one.
time I broke my nose, I was playing Ultimate and I was running to the end zone. It's played kind of like football. And I knew that it wasn't going to be thrown because I knew who had the disc. And then I turned around and came back the other direction. And the person that was covering me, their arm came up. And I was like, I knew I was going to get hit in the face. So I turned like that and it just put my nose over there. Um, and so that was when I learned how to reset a broken nose and just put it back to center. Yeah, gross.
How did that
Lots of
feel?
blood. Um, it hurt a lot, but it was better than having to wait and have them re-break it at the hospital because I didn't want to go, and I think it would hurt more later because you start to get your feeling back. So do it right away. Yeah.
Right away while you're already in pain, just go ahead, get it over
Yeah.
with.
Yeah. Right in front of my
So,
students on my first semester teaching.
oh my gosh, that must have been awkward.
Mhm.
All right. So tell me, who is your '90s crush? Do you have a '90s
Oh,
crush?
well, in the 90s, I would have been, oh, that was like from 10 to 20 years old. So there was probably a lot of them, actually. Oh, man. Early 90s, probably like Debbie Gibson. I remember my sister was huge into her music, and I was like, she was cute and stuff. And uh, yeah, I don't know. Trying to
Okay.
think.
Tickle Rick's in the comments. He says you're a
Oh,
badass.
he left
That
mine.
you. He said it's Mel Gibson style reset of the nose. Homer, you have your own like comic book now.
Yeah, the fact that he's taken that idea that was like just out of word vomit in your comment section of your guys' live and got hashtagged and then got repeated over and over to turn into something that's like now a thematic character that has an epic backstory. That's just like, I love
So
it, and I'm like so
epic.
confused as to how I'm like involved in that, like just as part of this community. Like it's just, I'm honored, and at times I don't even know, like I can't comment because I don't really know what to say. Uh, it's
You're
beyond
like,
me.
okay, this is happening. This is really happening.
Yeah, and like I like it because I'm trying to gain exposure and build up a following and a friendship and a community because I think that I want to do good in the world, and I can't do that from like behind a phone with no face. Just can't. So,
Tickle Rick says you're at the top of the totem pole in the community. I
oh,
think, I think it's like I don't know, Homer. Like you're always jumping into everyone's like lives, whether it be TikTok or like Twitter, and you're always like making sure you speak and putting in input when you can. So you're definitely a valued part of the community.
yeah. Yeah, I want to find value from each other and add it back into the community when I can. That's what I did in life, and that's what I want to do now that I'm not working like a day job physically. And so that also means I have a lot of time to like catch you guys when you're live. If I'm not feeling good, I'll just do it from bed.
So what's your? Are you a teacher? Is that right?
I was a teacher and I left 1 year ago about.
And what have you
So
been
I'm no
doing in
longer
the meantime?
learning about inflammatory arthritis, autoimmune diseases, neurodivergence, crypto, NFTs, advocacy. I'm learning that if you like launch an NFT project within in 6 weeks for only 6 weeks and not have any clue on how to market or brand or have a cohesive message, that it doesn't work. And that's so I've been learning a lot. I hyperfixate on learning. I've also probably sorted 200,000 trading cards because it keeps my hands going. And I like to sort playing cards from trading card games and build decks and give them away and sell them. So it's something to keep busy. It's something I enjoy.
So while we're on what you've been doing, because clearly you got into NFTs, how did that start?
I had a friend that was talking to me about crypto and investment, and I had been, putting a little money in retirement for a few years and watching that like just do nothing. It just sat there. I think it devalued and whatnot. I was just looking at crypto and I really liked the idea of blockchain. But for NFTs, I was like asking people about NFTs. I'm like, what's this NFT thing about? Like, I've heard it. I was following crypto content creators on YouTube a lot back then. And I was just learning about crypto, and I thought I was going to need to like learn how to analyze markets and technical analysis, and that was like not super exciting for me. But I started seeing the NFT and the art, and I'm like, oh, I should do that. And I guess I did like a year ago. I minted one, opened an account, minted an NFT, and forgot about it for like a year anyway. So I just recently figured out I have two OpenSea accounts now. So, um, but then in the fall, I started where a lot of us have started, and I started with like Espo Visual Sydney, really digesting her content, learning from her. I followed Rai Art, Ryan Maloney, Crunchy Cows, artist and illustrator, and I love just the simplicity of his videos and the ease at which he communicates that and those styles and art and teaching about the NFT process and how to build a community first. And he taught me all the things that I didn't quite internalize until now. I'm looking back like, oh man, he was right. I should have done that. A lot of us jump in face first, and I definitely did that. Like, I just needed to get into this space because I wanna see it advance and do really good things, and in a way that's non-discriminatory and advocacy and a lot of the sustainability aspects that I want the world to adhere to. I think in blockchain, there's a lot of creative ways to achieve that. And then I'm like, I studied art my entire education and taught art and have created art. So I have like 27 years of portfolios of art that I'm photographing and I'm uploading and I'm just digitizing and I'm altering them and using them as reference or ideas or jumping out points if it's something that I know don't really want to do again. Um, so NFTs was for me like just an obvious. I'm like, oh well, I enjoy art. I'm loving the idea of immutable ledgers and transparency and contracts and the idea of immutable stuff and errorless transaction stuff. So
I always say that I think it'd be a cool idea if the voting system turned to blockchain. I feel like it would be
yeah, I
more
also believe a
accurate.
ranked choice voting. Yeah, blockchain combined with ranked choice voting, so that say your guy doesn't win, your vote goes to the next in line of yours, or like anyway. Look up if you ever want to look up ranked choice voting. I like that kind of as a possible model. Um, just yeah,
I
I
think it would
think
be
that the
cool
blockchain is incredible.
if I also think it would be cool if instead of voting for a person to vote on all your things for you, if they could roll out some kind of app where you could everyone just votes on the policy, and they give you like a little video summarizing it, trying to not be biased
Yeah,
either direction and just factual. How cool
yeah.
would that be?
Representative elections when they're not actually representing their constituents have an inherent flaw, definitely.
Oh, yeah?
So I think so. Like we vote on people to represent us, and then they may or may not represent us.
Exactly.
I,
Exactly.
I'm like, yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Okay, so I know what I wanted to ask you, and this might be partially my fault. Or I don't know if it's my fault or not. But early on, when I was in the same boat as you, around the same time as you, where we're diddly daddling, trying to figure out what the heck place should we put our collections. And I made a video about Curate because it was gasless, and then
Oh yeah.
you actually did go over to Curate and tell me about your experience. And then I noticed you also created a collection on OpenSea, just kind of the behind the scenes there.
Yeah, and I haven't yet gone to like Elrond or Solsea, or there's a lot of different blockchains that I'm wanting to eventually put things on or have the availability and access to do that. So for me, it wasn't based on your video, but I was following, and for me, it wasn't just one person. I looked into them, and I really like a lot of what they have. And I hope that they succeed because they have cross-chain, carbon neutral, gasless. You can transfer your NFTs to Solana or Ethereum. Um, they're working on it's fully mobile platform, which at the time there wasn't a lot of fully mobile, so access to people. I thought it would be simpler to onboard people who could just buy their currency on Curate, and I thought that I would be marketing to people more in education and um, in IRL. I thought I would be doing more IRL in real life, selling to more, trying to get my NFTs to people outside of Curate. So I'm still not completely like disappointed with where I've gone, and while my collections there don't see a lot of traction because I just don't think they have a lot of traffic yet, I'm still going to be adding some things on there as well for the future and for when people feel like navigating over. I think multi-chain, I think cross-chain, I think that having options is, I just think a lot of people are going to go where they might jump around and they might not. But as for OpenSea, I've definitely got a lot more traction because a lot of my community that I think I connected with, a lot of them are Polygon and Ethereum on OpenSea. And then there's Solana blockchain, which I'll probably be on next once I get around to setting up something new. I've been spending a lot of time doing the art, and digital art is new to me. So I've been diving in as much as I can to do the things that I'm comfortable with to kind of build up, a portfolio of digital art and collection stuff before I really try to expand to do big things on like entire collections or large, huge collaborations or something.
Um, so just to be clear, because this, if it's somebody newer tuning in, maybe they have no idea, but it's not recommended to put the same art on multiple platforms. Are you putting different pieces on the different platforms or the same
Yeah.
pieces?
Different pieces, and recently I have reimagined a collection that is now in both places, but completely different artwork. So they are somewhat unified, but they are not double minted. Um,
Okay,
and I know
gotcha.
there are ways to like double mint something and then delete it off of one, and I just don't want to have that become an issue either. So uh, I'm hoping that that's cool. If not, I'll just take the other ones off, or I don't know.
Okay, so there's another, just a side note, because I was interested in Curate. Of course, I do Polygon on OpenSea. A third place I'm interested in, just a side note, it's not out there, it's not available yet, but it's called the Void NFT. And I'm a huge fan of DAG Constellation Network. And the Void NFT is going to be the NFT marketplace through DAG that you can get on the DAG Constellation Network. So, also going to be very low fee. So, I don't actually know a ton of details on it because it's not available yet, but just another one that I was going to throw out there.
Yeah, and I am not super familiar with the DAG, but I think I recall that you had gotten your node recently. So if it's something that you're involved with and you have that already, I can see why somebody would like, oh, I might want to do DAG now because Thea's there because she's already invested in building that community. So like I am fine with like jumping on. You know, I'm fine with moving over to other blockchains as needed, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it can be a hassle, but if it's for your community or a project or something, I could see how each one might even have just a different audience. Somebody might really enjoy your thing there that you didn't have access to.
It's just a little wild because like every single, crypto network or whatever is like building their own NFT place, and so it starts to get kind of overwhelming with all the different ones.
Yeah, the overwhelm I hope goes away when things get more intertwined or like we're, and I hate to say centralized because that word, but I think that when there are hubs that can allow you to pass through easily from one platform to another, or just move things easily without a ton of prior knowledge, I think that that will allow people to move around the spaces and the different chains.
Yeah, I think we're still a ways away, probably some years away from that, but that would be nice. Would be
Yeah,
nice.
just like the idea of a metaverse. Like we all have little metaverses that are popping up, but there's no way to take all of your avatar and stuff straight into another one like walking through a door yet.
Yeah, eventually, with time, they will get. Some of them are going to go out of business, and then the ones that are left, there are probably going to be some mergers, just like anything, with time. So
Yeah,
that'll
like
happen.
95% of the websites that were around in 97, I don't think I see them anymore.
Right, right. Okay, so we were talking about your project. We talked about where it went, and then now I know yours. Can you tell us more about your project? Because I know it was dealing with STEM research, but for those of us who don't have kids or don't know anything about the education system. Tell us what the heck is STEM and why'd you pick it and all that stuff.
Yeah, and the STEM field is science, technology, engineering, and math. And I actually utilize the term STEAM with an A in it to include the arts because science, technology, engineering, arts, and math uh, infused into education curriculum, kind of meshed together, um, are kind of what I want to promote. Sorry, I'm hearing that. They didn't have it. Okay, your siren went by, unless that was
I
here.
know,
Um,
sorry, it's New York.
that's okay. You're in New York. You're forgiven. I'll have a
Thank
kid
you.
scream in the same decibel in a minute. Don't worry. So
Oh, perfect.
my first 42 project was my entry into Web3 as a creative crypto NFT artist and advocate. And my goal for that, it wasn't met. It was like it wasn't a flop because I feel like I've gotten a lot of connection and camaraderie and value out of my community building after the fact. So my goal was to market 42 NFTs as dedication to 42 content creators who inspired me and who I want to emulate in the space. So people like Lauren Keys, people like Evan Mann and Lisa, and the entire NFT3 collective, like Zombie and Crypto Husar, and a lot of the people who were making the content, Espo Visuals and Cade, they were included in January in my dedication series, and I would hope that it would that Curate would the stuff I had on Curate would bring some finance into a public charter school that is building a net zero site. So I was going to donate 42% of all the things from Curate, all the collections that I had put up there, and I still will, but nothing's really selling there yet, and I haven't done great marketing, or I haven't done great clear, concise messaging. And so this is what I'm learning as I'm considering a future relaunch of the 42, and several of the members of 42 who are now in my secret 42 and 2 Discord, because I can't say who all's in there, but I can tell you about half of the 42 people who I aspire to be like have already become my friends and are in my private Discord. I made a Discord for the people I look up to so that they can connect with each other and so that they can gain value from each other. But my ultimate goal is to, in terms of all advocacy, I want to taper down into having the school that I formerly worked at, something that's close to me and I can see the effects and I can and work with. I want to collaborate and work with them to help them fund the sustainable model school that they are building right now on property that they bought 2 years ago, and are designing not only a carbon neutral school, but they teach through permaculture design, sustainability, and forest school pedagogy, where you meet the students outside in a play-like manner when they're young, and you put curriculum in front of them in cool, creative ways so that they're achieving their knowledge, but they're not doing just rote memorization stuff. And the school is a phenomenal example of what could be done. And in addition to hoping to fund them, I also want to help, once I relaunch, I want them to be able to accelerate the publishing of not a how-to, but how we did. And 10 of us who received forest school certification through UC San Diego, culture design certificates, lots of professional development in a wide variety of things, and had taken on admin roles at the school because it was a teacher-led school. We didn't have a superintendent or a principal exactly leading us through what has to be done. We decided how we taught the standards to the students and made sure that they were able to reach those standards without getting the Houghton Mifflin textbook that every kid studies to pass the standardized test that is made for the suburban LA white kid. That test is designed for a certain demographic. So meeting the kids where they're at academically, socially, in a cross-age, cross-curricular setting with a lot of outdoor project-based stuff, and removing the administrative cost, and then putting it into the project and the actual education of the children through experiential learning, it is amazing value. So we authored a book. It's 10 of us co-authored this book, and we're hoping to get that out into the world at some point also. So it's slow going right now, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm like here doing my art, and I'm just loving it as I go. Like, I get a lot of value out of communicating my passions and my ideas to folks who I connect with, like you, and like all of you down there, and all of you over there, whichever side Thea's on your screen.
JD says,
Yeah, that way.
Homer for president.
I had thought about that, but it would have been 2024, and I really don't want that. I can hardly, no, I don't want that responsibility.
And then anybody who even tries to run for office, first of all, you need like $1 bazillion. It's very expensive to run for office. And then secondly, they will dig up literally any dirt on you that they can find.
Oh yeah.
To tarnish your name. And I was like, who would even want to run for office? Because you have to have thick skin, man. Like, I feel like it weeds out a lot of good people.
I do want people to be able to step into leadership roles without the financial burden of the current capitalist political system. So money out of politics would solve so many of our barriers that are keeping strong progressive women of color out of leadership roles. And I feel that that's honestly what we need to save the world. I think men are too emotional and start wars, and that we should have women leaders.
Well, that would be nice
to
turn. See.
Take the reins, please.
Okay, well, we were talking about your project. So is there anything else you want to say about your project, or like the future of your project?
Yes, I do plan on doing a future relaunch of the first 42, and I really want to highlight something that wasn't really known about the project because of my lack of exposure to the NFT community, my own ability to articulate my message, and just not giving enough time before starting it. And that was a collaborative effort between the members of the 42 and myself and the school. So the thing that I'm really excited about, and that has happened once, was I did sell the dedication piece to Lauren Turton, and I sold that to one person bought the NFT at a 42. And that person received a one-on-one meeting with Lauren Turton. She donated that to the holder of my NFT. She added value to my creation on behalf of the school that I wanted to support. And there were others who had agreed, like Evan Mann was going to do a acting class digitally, like a session online with the school themselves, not the buyer, but so someone would buy the NFT to him, and then that would carry on to that. So in the future, I'm hoping to expand on that idea when I relaunch, and I want it to be an at-will thing. I don't want it to seem like I'm trying to market off of these individuals who mean a lot to me. So I really want them to kind of do it with me on more of a one-on-one basis and do something. And several have agreed. And I know as this moves forward and I start to relaunch the 42 as individual projects, small things, not huge, but I think that it will come about in a way that is more successful, and I'll still be able to donate, and I'm like, I might even donate more than 42%. Who knows? I want to see this done. I think it's important. So right now I'm in, I guess, the consolidation phase. I was like super excited in the bull run, and then like I didn't do the thing. So now I'm consolidating because someday we're going to shoot up. But I do want to say that I'm also working on something, more than one somethings. I have several NFT projects that I'm creating that I think are going to be not just awesome and creative and cool, but that can change the way people collaborate and interact and socialize with each other.
You're frozen. Homie, can you hear me? Because I don't hear you. Are you joshing me again?
I'll just talk to the audience. Hello.
Hi.
No. I was frozen. You were frozen. Are we back?
I hear you now.
I can hear you.
Okay, I think we're back.
Okay, good. Awesome. So I have several projects in the works that are going to be like years out, I think, because they're just not possible. Some of them are more similar to a metaverse than they are an NFT project. And as someone who's dealing with arthritis and coding, I think that I'm going to have to at least build up enough reputation or finances to support a team of devs someday. But what I want to do is I want to create things that are more expansive. And I don't want to give away a lot of what I want to do, not just because I'm like, oh, I don't really know what I want to do, but I have an idea for something that is also tied a lot in with my Sherwood project application. And I'm hoping to be the one behind the documentary filming. I think that my idea allows their vision to continue in a way beyond just their treehouse, and to become something that is forever growing and expanding, like a real forest, and evolving and maturing. And so we would end up with like old growth NFT things, and it would be a very dynamic, a very changing system. It's not just the art piece that it becomes, it's more of the system in which the forest grows in the Sherwood project. And it would become after the initial seeds are planted and then they're germinated, they would end up growing into something that involves a lot of user interaction and collaboration and contribution, because I think that the community behind the Sherwood project are the same people who want to contribute and make these type of things awesome. So I think that that's vital. I also have a Doomsday NFT that I'm planning that I don't really like, but I want to get it out there for climate activism. And I think that also making a political statement through, because I think all financial things are political wherever you put your money. So contributing to NFTs that support, regenerating forests, social dynamic, just the positive things, don't shit on anyone kind of mentality. I think that those are what I want to promote. That's what I want to contribute to. So climate activism, I think we're in a time when is going to be insanely important to create things that contribute to that. So I could probably talk to you more about NF Doom. But
did you say that you don't really like it?
No, it's like I want to hand it off to an organization that can do it without like it just being my name attached to this doomsday like sadness NFT. Like it would literally be a bummer the entire time it's being minted, because it's all about climate activism. And I don't want to just be bummed out all the time. I think people will buy into it because it's not only a philanthropic, activistic thing, but it will kind of timestamp and immortalize things about the current state of climate crisis and be a historical documentation as well. So I see NFTs as not just the art.
Can you bring me a glass of Prosecco and a water? Okay, that's
also,
the first time that...
you missed my...
You're about to turn into that. Homer made.
It's my power cup. Oh. It's also from space.
Oh gosh, there were so many things I wanted to say, and my brain's getting jumbled because that's the first time the waiter has checked on me since I've been sitting here the whole time. Anyway.
Well, you look busy.
I look busy. I look very busy. So you said you didn't like the last product, but that's just because you think it's
got negative connotation.
It's a bummer.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Okay.
But the Sherwood
Okay.
project is, can I do want to say that what my idea for the Sherwood project is somewhat of a reskin of something I've been working on longer than I've known about the Sherwood project. And it is better because of what the adaptation has allowed. And it's allowed me to kind of split my idea into two paths, one of which I'm going to pursue in the future regardless. Um, and that's more mushroom based than it is plant based. But they both have a growth
Oh.
element to them. And so um, I think that it has a lot of potential, and if I can succeed with the Sherwood project, I'll then have also resources to do another project on my own that is really cool and also very neat. Cheers. Oh, now I'm shaking.
Cheers.
Oh yeah, I wasn't supposed to do this.
Ah. Am
Sorry.
I on a roller coaster? What's going on? We
I
could
don't
both
know.
just start bopping around like this.
Yeah, that's our dance.
You guys got to dance out of us.
Oh,
Okay, so you get very excited when you talk about the Sherwood project. It's super cute. Um,
yeah,
did he
I'm a fan.
mention your you fangirl over them?
Oh yeah.
Fanboy.
And like they've known about me a while. I remember one time in a live, it was hilarious. Matt was talking, and it was just before all the applications were due, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, this contest doesn't start till Homer gets his application in." And I was like, "Oh," because
I heard that.
I've just been like following him around. Like I didn't know if I was getting into the whitelist or pre-order list or whatever early enough, and so I was like on TikTok and like in his comments, like making jokes and getting his attention and stuff. And then I got whitelisted really easy as people were like in the Discord not getting whitelisted because there was a lot of chatter there. And I was like, okay. And that was like 2 months early. I was like, oh no, I might not get in. I got to get on the. It was like I was super eager, super eager.
Like a
Um,
beaver.
like a beaver, exactly. That brought out my eagerness, my young vitality eager. I get really excited about the Sherwood project. It's got the catfish feel of some revolutionary idea of what could be done. And like honestly, I didn't want to apply for it because like I I, I don't imposter syndrome says I shouldn't be in front of a camera. I should not be public. People should not listen to me, like all those things. But like I have a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience in arts and creating and systems and planning and community and like all the things I did kind of mesh nicely with just being in the NFT space.
So when is he going to? He said we can vote. I don't know how this works. Are we voting on just finalists that they come up with, or are we voting on the
Yeah,
whole
they're gonna
thing?
they're gonna screen out all. They're gonna screen all the applications, and I believe they're gonna present a small number to the holders, and the holders get one vote each, regardless of how many NFTs they purchased. So it's not like you could just buy up 100 NFTs and get 100 votes. I guess you could buy 100 people to buy NFTs to get 100 votes, or you could just like say, please get mine because I think we could do really cool stuff together. That's my idea. I'm
Cool.
going to
So they're
ask
just
for a
going to pick.
lot of help. I'm going to ask for a lot of help and contribution for ideas and discussions when I am doing the Sherwood Forest because I'm the visionary. Everyone else can suck it.
That's it.
Um,
That's it. Contest is over. We have now
yeah,
officially announced it's Homer.
don't tell Luke, but we still got to do the formalities of the voting and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird because
So
I came into the space to like I'm like I don't. This sounds super egotistic. I have to be famous in order to do the most good in the world. And while I don't like the idea of attention on me, I'm like I want to make actual change in the world, and this seemed like the natural next step to be like, oh, sweet, let's do a video about the guy who's just realizing he's autistic, just lost his job to chronic illness and fatigue, and is now jumping in full force to change the world. Yeah, let's do it. And then I'm just gonna send him on a wild goose chase to interview everybody else instead of me. Like, He can take the first 42 and interview them, and I'll get a little bit of screen time. I don't know.
You never know. First of all,
Yeah.
never say never.
Yeah.
Tickle Rick's already. He said he just ripped up his application because, yeah, you already won.
Oh yeah. Too bad it's late, or too bad you're late. That was okay. I turned that application in 2 weeks early, and as someone who has never turned anything early, I feel like I never said procrastination, but I always do things in a time-induced panic because I know exactly how much energy I have left and time to end up like starting and finishing right before the deadline. So I was like 2 weeks early on the application, and that blew my mind. I was like so eager that I was like, this is what I'm sending out. And while they're going through the application, I'm still making notes and planning and doing the work on it, whether it gets picked or not. I'm gonna do something similar.
Oh,
Someday.
awesome! So it's like whether or not you're picked, you're still gonna go with it.
I'm gonna try. Yeah,
Yeah.
might have to find a new funding source, or actually, it's not even about the funding. I don't really think I need a lot of funding. I think I need access to their devs and marketing and creative teams, really. Yeah, and just people to help build the platform.
That's awesome. Homer, we're about at an hour, so we have to
Yeah.
wrap it up.
Cool.
Is there first of all, guys, if you have any final questions, make sure you submit. Do you want to check your comments? Do you have any questions on your side?
I have mostly been ignoring hi to everyone that I ignored. No, just a lot of like whoop whoops and stuff. Yeah, agreed. I have subtle and funny as fuck humor. Oh, that's Shelly. Thanks. Shelly co-hosts with me.
Oh,
Art school dropouts every Thursday. Not next week. I'm traveling. But they might still do it. It's Twitter Space. And that's just voice, and it's great.
Tickle Rick wants to know Marvel or DC?
Yes. Marvel. DC formerly when I was a kid, just because of Justice League, justice. But in terms of like cinematic universe and the current state of entertainment, definitely Marvel.
NFT Hope wants to know who is your biggest motivator?
Oh, my biggest motivator. I don't know. Probably my antidepressants. They get me up in the morning.
Okay, who would win in a fight, Batman or Iron Man?
Iron Man.
I'd say so too.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're gonna. Who's richer? Oh, Rick would. There's some conversing going on. I don't know.
They're
okay,
debating it now. You started debates in the comments.
I know. Now we're gonna come up with something else for Tickle Rick to do. I'm sure.
Yeah.
What else is going down in the comments today? Anyway, Homer, tell me, what last words would you like to let the TikTok family know? Final words.
Final words would be thank you all. Just for being here, my first live, my entry into the community, the support that you've given me and each other, just the shared love. I just thank you all, and I want to emulate it and carry it on. That's like, you guys are here for me, and I want to be here for you.
I'll be there for you. In true Friends fashion, because I'm in New York City.
Nice.
Yay!
Also, before we go, I want to thank you for hosting my first live and making it easy because I get to talk to somebody that I'm, a friend. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. We're just sitting down chatting over water, and now I have a glass of wine. And whatever you have. What do you have in that cup, by the way?
I brought 3. I've got tea, I've got a pink drink, and I got water. Right now, it's
drinks.
I'm like temperature deregulation is hard, so I've got a warm drink and a cold drink, and then just a big old water bottle.
I
But
do
I got
that
this
too.
pink one,
I do that too, Homer. When I have to sit down in my office, I'm
pink
like,
drink,
I want variety.
pink
I want
drink.
one hot, one cold, and you have a pink drink. Nice.
Yep.
Okay, guys. Anything else? Homer, you're great, says Alan.
So are
Alan,
you,
don't
man.
worry. Don't worry that you missed it. I'll put it back on YouTube so you can watch the replay if you want.
And guys, don't panic.
It's backwards.
Oh, sorry. Don't panic.
Don't panic. Perfect. We saw it that time. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining in on this live. Thank you, Homer, for coming on. And we'll
Yeah,
catch you
thanks for
guys in the
having me.
replay.
All righty.
Bye.